I don't work for Marshalls. I don't pump no gas for no motherfucker. I don't do construction work. I don't do none of that shit on the side. I put all my chips into this hip hop shit, into this production shit. So I want, at the end of the day, I want niggas to respect that shit. And respect that shit like how they respect going inside of Ralphie. They buy their clothes, because you can't negotiate with Ralphie, can you? Nope. Alright, you can't negotiate with what's the other, Dior. You can't negotiate with them niggas. You can't negotiate with none of these niggas. You can't negotiate with Pharrell, can you? Nope. Don't play that shit with me. That's all I'm trying to say. No hate, excuse my passion. I just feel passionate about that, and I'm speaking for other cats. Because there's other producers that feel the same way. You know, and it's just like, it's a respect level. It's like, you know, I feed my kid with this shit. I pay my rent with this shit.
Hey.
Oh, what up? Murda Megz. What's good?
What's happening?
Yo. Yo, this is for the history books, right?
Mm-hmm.
You watch season 1, 2, 3, you notice there's no females on there.
Oh.
You are the first female beat maker on Strictly for My Diggers.
Oh, we're all right.
Yeah, this is for the history books right here. You made history right here. You know what I mean?
Word.
So,
Thank you for having me here.
I'm really excited, like, because I kept saying I need some females. I need I need some females. There's beat makers out there that are female that need to be recognized on this platform. And I went through all of season 1 without one, season 2, season 3. You know,
right.
And I didn't know about a whole lot of female beat makers.
Mm-hmm.
And even you, I'm just now getting up on you. You know what I mean? I reached out to JP, the producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the sis. That's a homegirl. I love her. I love her.
Right.
I love her. You know, yeah, she's dope too. She's the dopest, doper than me.
Oh, y'all like neck and neck. Y'all like neck and neck. I ain't gonna say she's doper than y'all. Y'all like neck and neck. Neck and neck.
But yeah, shout out to her.
Yo, shout out to her. And originally I reached out to Sovereign. Are you familiar with Sovereign? That did work with Zelda?
Yes. I know she's from Buffalo. She did some work with the Griseldas and stuff like that. With
right.
Armani, what's her name?
Armani Caesar and all them.
Yeah, she's dope too. Shout out to her too.
Yeah, shout out to her as well. But I reached out because that's the only one I really knew at the time. Even before that, it was like y'all like almost non-existent, like Coco Chanel. You remember Coco Chanel?
Yes, Coco Chanel. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, she did some stuff with Saigon, Painting My Life. She produced that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could have done a lot of things. You could have, rapped, got naked and rapped. Why beats?
Beats, I grew up around beats. Mm-hmm. That's all I knew was beats. I mean, I grew up around rapping, of course. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm from New York. Number one, I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem. And of course, my dad is from the Bronx, and of course, that's just that is just the element. It's all the elements of hip hop, which is breaking, b-boying, and turn DJing and MCing and and graffiti, you know what I'm saying? And tagging and stuff like that. And of course, we got one, which is beatboxing. And of course, the production, we can't forget about the production part, because that's what gave hip hop its own flavor and style and, just this lifestyle all around. So, like I said, I grew up in New York, and I've seen MPCs, I've seen SP1200s, I've seen a lot of machines. And I said, oh, okay, that's how they do it? So, yep. And I wound up picking up that bug. At the age of 9 and stuff. So
9 years old? Are you serious?
Yes. Well, younger than that, because like I said, grew up, was born and half raised in New York up until we moved to PA in 2002, and I just wound up getting my hands on everything and started making beats by myself. So it really started at 9 as far as like me getting into it, but I grew up. This is pretty much
So, what was the first piece of equipment that you used?
The first piece of equipment, in 2002, moving to PA, I've gotten my hands on the SP202. I know the SP12, the SP404 is the thing, and then they have like the continuation of the SP404. Right. But the SP2, as far as like sampling wise, is the SP202, then FL Studio, and of course my dad, he had carried some stuff with him. Some records and record players and like turntables and stuff like that to sample, and CD players and cassette tapes and all that good stuff like that. But SP12, SP12. So
it's your father who passed down the beat making bug to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Did your father do beats for artists around the way or whatever?
No, I mean he was doing. He started out as a DJ. So that's what he made him get into production. As far as like behind the scenes. And the recording with his buddies here and there, but it's just really DJ that really got it, got into it. Living in the Bronx and River Park Towers, and
Indeed. So, all right, so you started with the SP202, right? Making beats, and this is at what age would you say this was at? The SP202.
9.
Damn, 9. Ooh. Were you digging in the crates at 9? You were digging? You were getting records at 9?
9 and younger, yes. My dad had crates, of records, every record, reggae, a lot of, Jamaican joints, R&B and blues and soul, 45s, 10, 12 inches.
At 9 years old, did you know what you had on your hands? Did you know what you were doing?
Making castles out of it, because I thought it was toys. It was better than my Barbies.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Wow. So when you started making beats at 9, did you know you had funk? Like you really like?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Even though I was not, of course I was 9 years old. So when you start off making beats at 9 and you think you know what you're doing and you're messing with everything and trying to get to know what everything is. And of course I also work with FL Studio as I, continue to grow into my adolescence, my pre-adolescence, into my adolescence, of course, in my adulthood. I started messing with FL Studio and I collect, hardwares and stuff like that when I got a job and when I was able to, pay for it.
Right. So you started with the SP202, and then the next phase was it software or was it continuing hardware?
It was a little bit of both. Then I just eased on into the software because it's more convenient and it's on the computer. And then, like I said, as I grew up, in my teen years after school, I would, go into LimeWire. Yeah, LimeWire. That's me. And then I would just grab like MP3s and WAV files and know how to chop. Then I wound up getting this MPD 24. MPD 24. And then I just start, just learn how to chop stuff, like I said, as it continues and as it go,
It's a continuous growth process or whatever.
Right.
So, do you prefer software or hardware better?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Due to me, being in my era and coming from, of course, growing up in the old school, young as I was, and in my generation where everything is just software, because like I said, the convenience and the product, you can get it done fast. And then we, of course, the computer, the internet era started to get even bigger. It's just in our lives continually. We have to get on the internet on our phones. We have to get on the internet on the computer and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit of both with me. I like both.
Do you find that the workflow is easier on software rather than hardware?
Yes. Yes. And I have an MPC 2000 XL as well. I still carry that with me. And what I had to do was, of course, I had to grab another piece of equipment. I had to spend $300 on a mixer to track everything out because, of course,
and that's a pain in the ass. That was a pain in the ass.
Even though I know how to get through it, because, like I said, I grew up in this and I witnessed and I've seen, and I just got it down to the T. And because I I keep saying SP1200, and I don't have no SP1200. It's an MPC 2000 XL that's loaded with the 8 outs in the back. So I had to pay a little more than, versus
fully
what I would have
blown,
gotten on eBay.
the fully blown joint,
So I had to pay damn near like almost like $800, really $700, but paying for the shipping is more. And I got it from this dude in Brooklyn. So it's loaded with 8 tracks in the 8 out track outs in the back.
Right.
And of course, I went to Guitar Center to get the cord, like the quarter inches.
And
I had to, put it on into the mixer. Then, of course, I had to, do a couple things to put the mixer on to the interface so that way it can start to track out on FL Studio. So I had to do track 1, track 2, track 3, and I had to separate that. And then, of course, I had to clock it in there. It sounds like work. It sounds like
it is. I know MIDI clock and all that.
So I mean, I wish I could make it short and simple, but there is no, there's no way around it but to do what you do.
Right. So your favorite piece of equipment that you're using right now at this moment is what?
The Machine MK3.
I've heard horror stories about the Machine, about the buttons being stuck and being stiff. Or is that a problem for you?
Everybody has their experiences. They have their pros and they have their cons. For me, because I take my machine and my computer everywhere. I take it to work because the occupation that I'm working like out of the music is home health aid, and I stay with this couple. And they have like 3 bedrooms, and they have a back room. And
so you banging out at work, you banging out on their time,
and the house is so
shame
thin.
on you.
The husband had to come in. He was like, "Hey, can you stop topping?" It's now there's a cons with the not the MPC the Machine MK3. And the buttons is so because I tap so loud, I'm so heavy handed, and I tap so loud, and I tried to take it easy, but I can't help what I do because this is what I do, So I have to apologize to them in advance, and after that fact.
You got the headphones on. You be having the headphones on.
Yep, I be having the headphones on, and I don't be knowing that I be tapping so loud. But as far as like my buttons and my pad sensors and all the other stuff like that, I've never had no trouble with that. But like I said, to each his own, and everybody has their experiences, pros and cons with it.
So you come from the old school now. Are you still digging in the crates, or have you advanced to like just digging online?
I dig. I'm like I said, I'm all around it. Whatever I could get my hand, whatever is there, I could get my hands on. But I still dig in the crates. I still go to the stores, thrift stores, whatever's near me, or I go out to Pittsburgh, and I'll just crate dig there. Or if I'm overseas or out of state, I could go to the record stores there, like in Paris, or now me and the gang. Well, speaking of that might be coming soon. Of course. I just went to Paris. I wish we could dig there, but we was just seeing all the popular sites and all the other stuff like that. So probably next time, we'll do that. But every time I would go out of state, I would collect something, or I would go online and get some records, or I would get some sample packs, which is more convenient, due to me working with the bad seed. We'll probably get to that too. Working with the bad seed and getting that product out. It's always, it's about getting that product out as fast as you can. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So you say you're located in Pittsburgh?
An hour away from Pittsburgh. It's less than an hour for me. It depends on what roads and what routes I take, and I just get there, straight back. Right.
So what's the vibe like as far as like the record stores out there? They have a lot of record stores where you're at? Like,
yes, we do. Yes, we do. And of course, we always be having like the vinyl ciphers and like the record days and stuff like that too. Which I couldn't make it on time because I'm always at work at my 9 to 5.
Right.
So or I could have, just made some time up for it and go straight there and straight back, but we always have record days and stuff like that too, like good, nice events to collect records and stuff. And sometimes, they be spinning it and, strictly vinyl. It's just strictly vinyl that, that whole entire day.
Right. Now, are you the type that will spend a lot of money on records, or do you like dollar crates?
I used to do that then. I like dollar crates. Don't get me wrong, but if it's something that's valuable and something that has a dope sample, it's just a piece that's in there, and it looks like. Sometimes looks can be deceiving. You could get, see that it's a dope record, but it's not. And gets me too. But I do have to spend like at least just a few dollars on it, because this might be the first and the last record that I can ever find up until within the next few years of my lifetime, probably.
So how do you know? How do you know that you're getting a dope record? Are you going off the cover? Are you going off the instruments in the back?
It could be the cover. I gotta admit it's the cover.
Are you the type that goes with the chick got an afro on the cover? Like, I'm getting that. You know. Yep. And do you bring a portable turntable with you to listen right then and there, or you just want to go home for the surprise?
It's the surprise for me. It's like doing like rhythm roulette. It's like Russian roulette with records. You know, it's always been like that with me. So you just playing Russian roulette to see if you got a good one or a bad one. You know, so it's been like that.
So what's the genre? Is there a certain genre you go to, or is this a free for all?
It's a free for all. It could be something. It could be like a European record. It could be a Canadian record. It could be a South American record, like something from Brazil. It could be like something from the United Kingdom, or like Russian. It's free for all, as long as it has a dope sound for me to chop up and then incorporate it with my drums and do this and that. Then I'm good. You know.
Right. So one thing I would always say is, as beat makers, you know, I'm a beat maker. I make beats as well. You know, as you can tell, it's a beat maker to beat maker conversation. We have to be patient, because a lot of times we have to listen.
Right.
And a lot of times some of these records are not dope, but it's that one little piece, like, ooh. You know, so when you're playing these records, are you listening to the whole record, or are you spot sampling, taking the needle and just going across it?
It's a little bit of both for me. Either sometimes, like for that first track, it can have something on it, or I just like skip it if so. It just depends on that. It depends on that record. You know, if it's know, like I said, the look of it, and if I need to find something quick, then I could do that. I could just skip over it with the needle. And sometimes if I do that, that's why I stopped doing that, because sometimes it could be something that it passed me by.
You missed something, right?
Yeah, that was a good opportunity. So I'd rather just sit there and just listen to it and see what pops up, you know, and I can hurry up and catch that. You know?
Yeah. You can definitely catch it, because you know you got that spot sampling where you're being impatient. You want to make something. You got the drum pattern, you know, or whatever. So when it comes to you starting the beat out, do you start with the sample, or are you starting with the drums?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you? I mean, what is it? Is it a mood or a feeling? Like, yo, I'm just gonna.
It's the mood. It's a mood. You know, when if I want to start with the sample, then I can do that and hurry up to chop the sample up and then look for the drums, or I can look for the drums. You know, whether it's in my collection in my computer, I got folders galore in this computer that I'm talking to you on right now. So it's just named as loops and drum kits, or drum kits, and I could, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 2, and then I can, you know, either look for the drums right then and there, or I can look for, like, go into the sample packs, or go to my collection, or look on YouTube, and I can look for the sample right then and there. So yeah, like I said, it's just like it's the mood for me.
Got you. So with the drums, right? You have preset drums, so you don't look for drums every time you could be. You just go to your collection.
Yeah, it's the mixture. Like I said, like it's a mixture for me. You know, like I said, anything I could get my hands on, I need it, and I got to go get it. You know.
Now, are you opposed to breaks, using breaks, or chopping up a drum break?
Yeah, both. That's gonna be my answer. I'm right there on my head. Both.
Right.
So sometimes I can either loop it, or if I need to chop it up, if need be, or I can use Serato sample to do that. And I like Serato sample. They came up with that idea because on the Machine 2 and with my Machine MK3, sometimes the pitch can mess with the speed or the time stretching. And I said, okay, maybe I need to get Serato sample, so that way I can, you know, separate that. You know, either I want to mess with the pitch and leave the timing the way it is, that speed the way it is, or I can mess with the time stretching just to get it within that beats per minute, or within that tempo to stay in that, you know, so that way I could let the sample flow with the drums a little better. So I could do either or.
Right.
You know, so
So when you sample, are you just taking from just one record, or are you from the old school? You're taking pieces from different records.
Um. Uh. Just different records all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, different records all around.
Right.
You know, like
You
like I
know,
said, it depends on that. Like I said, it depends on that record. If I find another piece,
mm-hmm.
you know, and I could just incorporate that too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with that same record, or I could go to another record and do that too. But
Right.
yeah,
Right, because
it's all, you know, different records.
So you coming from the old school or whatever, you know how back in the day they took pieces of different records to make like one beat, that wall of sound.
Right.
And now if you notice nowadays they're taking from one record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like the beat is linear or whatever. And do you think that has to do with sample clearances being an issue now that they're not doing it like that?
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, you know, and I noticed that on some records it could have, or it could, like you said, the sample clear. Yeah, it could be. That could be true. Let me say, or you could get somebody to sing it, you know, just to copy it and sing it. But I'm gonna just put it as an answer. It does have something to do with the sample clearances. So
Right.
Yeah.
So as a female beat maker, it's almost like you can probably be better than a lot of brothers or male beat makers because females are emotional. You know what I mean? So you feel, you feel the sample more than the average dude. You know the emotion. Do you ever have a time where like you want to make a beat, but you're feeling happy, so your beats come out happy? You're feeling someone pisses you off at work, and your beats are violent. Do you ever have those moods like that? Does it work like that for you sometimes, or is everything just grimy and just How does it work?
I like the griminess because that's where I come from.
Regardless of how you're feeling.
Yeah, it depends on how I'm feeling. It could be, you know, I come from that grimy. Every time I would put on, you know, a Gangstar, even though I grew up on Gangstar, that's all I know is like a Gangstar, a DJ Premier record, or something like, you know, or it could be something like the Mad or J Lib, you know, type of record, you know, with the good Indian, like an Indian type style, and it has to have this dramatic type of orchestrated, like orchestra type something. It has to have something, you know, to make me fit, you know, and have some hard drums. So it's just the grind for me. Yeah, I love the grind.
Yeah. Okay, so because I always figured like, okay, you being a female producer and you being your moves, and
that tempo too.
Yeah, right. And speaking of tempo, what is your sweet spot as far as tempo? You know,
my tempos, I would say like 78. Beginning at 78, maybe 79, like the high 78, 79, and all the way up to like 84.
84,
or sometimes 85. You know, sometimes 90. But my sweet spot has to be like I said, like 70.
Now, do you when you make a beat, do you set the tempo first, or does the sample and everything determine all of that? Like when you turn on the equipment and you're going to make a beat, do you say, all right, well, let me turn this to this tempo? Or does it all determine by the sample and how you hear the sample? Like, oh, I want to slow this down. I want to speed this up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it just, like I said, it depends on the set. Like say if I want to chop it up and I want to tune it down a little bit just to get it to incorporate with the tempo. I just go in and do my thing, you know, however, you know, I'll go in. So yeah.
Dope. Now, throughout this conversation, I've heard you use the word chop. Are you against looping, or you chop every single thing?
Yeah, I'm a big chopper. Big chopper. Because like I said, I want it every time I chop, I want it to fit within that, you know, in with the drums and stuff like that. Sometimes I would do the looping technique. Like I said, it just depends if it fits or not. Either I would do like 1 beat per pad, 2 beats per pad. You know, it like I said, it all depends if it fits in that or not.
Because some people say that, you know,
everything goes by the ear.
It's a feeling producer, right? By feeling, right? You know, that's all. So you know, because some people always say like, you know, oh, he just looped this or they just looped that. And they didn't do anything to it. They just looped it and put drums to it. But do you ever find that when you chop, you can mess up a good groove? by just chopping everything all the time. Some things are just good. You just loop it. Have you ever had that issue where you can mess up a groove because you chopped it?
Yeah, because sometimes every time I would pick like a certain sample in my mind, way before I even hit the MPC or hit the machine, in my mind, I'm thinking that it's okay, it's gonna go like this, this, and this. But when I get on the machine, it's not going right the way I want it to be according to what I thought, or way before I even got on this machine. So it be like that, it be like that sometimes, It could be a bummer.
It can, because what I'm realizing nowadays in this underground realm, I find is that choppy sound is not as prevalent like it used to be. It's more loop based to a degree, and the chops are a lot longer.
Right.
You know what I mean? The chops are not, when you chop it up, or you find this thing, you chop it up in like 16 pieces. I see now the chops are a lot longer. It might be 4 pieces.
Right.
So it's a loop, but then they have a turnaround. That's different. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, and you know what? Now I learned this some years ago. You can't get, it's a trick to this. Sometimes you can get a minute of it. Sometimes you could get I would say like 30 seconds, maybe 8. Like I said, it just depends on what sample I choose. Sometimes you can get like 8 seconds of it and then just chop it up all 16, and then it could go right. Or you could get maybe like 10 or maybe 12 seconds of it, and then everything could go right. Or sometimes you can get longer than 12 seconds. It could be up to a minute. As long as it all fits and incorporates right, then it's good.
Right. So how many beats are you banging out a day nowadays?
Let's see. Just right now, recently, I just banged out a total of 10.
10 beats.
10. Wow. Yes. Depending on the ideal wise, I could do, maybe I could just, have it all going straight, or I can get like an 8-bar and a 16-bar and another 8-bar, something, just to finish off the song. But it was a total of 10.
Right. So, but how many, when we talk about quality control, how many of them would keep
per day? Sometimes I would either go for 4 or maybe 2. It depends on the mood.
So you make some that are maybe throwaway.
Yeah, some that's throwaway, some that's keepable. Or a question like it's okay, this is gonna be, Stan, I'm gonna put this to the side real quick and see if I want to delete this or not, or whatever. So it's it's 10 keepable ones. So it depends on what Bassy thinks.
Right.
But yeah, it's
now,
10 keepable ones.
Have you ever had a beat you made and it's like, I don't like it, but you didn't like it at first, but you liked it when you heard someone rap over it? It's like, oh, okay, yo. You ever had them, you make them beats, you're like, it's all right, but you don't like it until next you hear someone rap, say a rhyme over it, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. And that the first time, and here's this. The first time I ever worked with Bad Seed, it was the bake sale and the Uber joint, and I was just making beats, because I didn't have nobody to work with at the time. Right. And it's been some years ever since then. But as soon as late 2020, 2021 hit, and I was listening to bake sale and Uber. And I was like, hey, yo, he did the damn thing on it. And plus he got the features on it. So I kind of felt good after that. I was like, maybe I need to get used to that.
Right. Because there's certain beats that they love that you don't stand by that beat. You're like, that was a throwaway. Like, why'd you pick that?
Yeah. And one thing I learned, trash is another man's treasure. You never know. The radio, stations might pick up on that. Raps Out of Control might pick up on it and play that. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because I don't want to get you demonetized or nothing like that. But they might play that shit like twice or 3 times a month in a month. So it's favorable to everybody's ear. You know what I'm saying? So trash is another man's treasure.
Got you. So let's talk about bass lines. Man. Like, where are you getting the bass from? Are you filtering out in the sample, or are you playing the bass?
I filtered it. I just found whatever it is that was, whatever they provided me within the software, and I found 2 good bass lines. I use Sub Bass 1 or maybe the Sub Bass 8, and those are my 2 good. And sometimes I can feel, I put the low pass to it. then I just mess with the, like the decay and all that other stuff. Or sometimes I could do the attack if I want to come in like smooth, or I don't have to mess with the attack at all. And the release, I just put it down to like 39 just to get that cut, but yeah, my bass lines, I just found them on the software. Those are my signature bass lines ever since. And sometimes I don't have to use a bass line. But
that's also, that was my next question. Like, do you feel every beat needs to have a bass line?
No, not really. No, as long as it's dope and everything is in order, and you don't want to overdo it, with a bass line and a bass drum and this and that, just to make it, and it's gonna sound whack,
Right. So how do you know when a beat is done? Like, I've completed, and to push away.
Okay, now the completion of the beat. Now, how I do it, just to get, I take everything from the machine software, and I, of course, I make them into like, basically track outs. So you're just tracking out from the MPC. So that's what it is. You're just tracking it out from one software, and then you're sending it to another software. I still work with FL Studio to this day, just for the complete, just to get the completion down to the T. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everything is turned down, turned up, filtered if I need to be, if the volume, because sometimes when you work with a machine or an MPC Studio type of software, everything is normalized and compressed. Then when you take it to another software, it sounds loud as hell. And everything is just shitty all around. So you would have to track everything. You have to put everything in its mixer. And then you would have to, do some adjustments on it. And just put some break beats and, like your 16s and your 8s, where to go, where to stop. And you could like create like a little space for for your DJ to do some scratches and cuts on it on the end to do his thing. And then that's pretty much it. And I could end it. Either I could, end it just by chopping it off right there, or I could use like some type of delay, to end it right then and there. And that's when your song is complete. And then it's out the door. The product is out the door.
Right. So when you make beats, you pretty much keep everything. You don't ever throw anything away. You keep everything, and it's all on the artist. You just send it sometimes, and if they like it, they like it. If not,
Right. It'd be, like I said, it'd be like that. You're correct about that, and I just put it all, either I can send it one by one, or I just put it in a folder just to hold off on it. So that way I can add more to it. So that way that artist, for instance, Bad Seed, once again, I wanted to mention them because it's my brother.
Shout out to Bad Seed. Nice. Shout out to Bad Seed. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll put like maybe 6 in a folder, or maybe like your first 10 in a folder, or maybe 20. It depends on if he needs it right now. Then I'll hurry up and put a little 10 in there, a double digit in there, and then just send the product out now. So I want to make sure that MC, I hate to say rapper, but then make sure that MC gets at least 10 in a folder, so that way he can have options. If he's not feeling the first one, he could get the second one. If he's not feeling the second one, then so on and so forth. Then those are your options right then and there.
Right. So as beat makers, we send out what we call nowadays a pack.
Yes.
So how many beats is actually a pack for you? Do you have a set number of beats that make up a pack, a beat pack?
Like I said, 10 could be, if you need it urgently, you can get your first 10. And if you want to hold off and wait, if you want like 5 more or maybe 10 more, that could be 20. So a pack of 10 or a pack of 20, basically.
Okay, got you. So do you find that when you send beats out, like they take it as is, like they don't need stems? Or you send stems?
Sometimes they need if they need the stems, if they're asking for it, then I would go back into that program, that project, and I would just use the option of like separate it while it's in its mixer. Then I could go ahead and send it to them if needed, because sometimes they wouldn't want to need it because everything sounds good the way it is.
Right, they like it how it is.
But if needed, then I'll send it to them. If that's another step or another option, then I can give it to them.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope right there. So let's get into the business of beats. You know what I mean? We built on the beat science or whatever. So when you meet an artist, or an artist reaches out to you, the name Megz, they don't see your face a lot of times, right? have you ever had an issue where people thought you were a dude? Because how hard your beats sound like, when they meet you, like, oh, you're a female.
Yep. I mean, it's not an issue. I mean, it's all good. You know, that's why I need to start getting my image out there to, you know, prove that, hey, I'm a female. I make beats, you know. But yeah, it's that. I mean, it's a surprise. Sometimes it's a surprise to some, you know. And I told them, no, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
Right. So as far as selling beats, are you selling beats, or are you more so into like getting with the artist, making the product and doing the splits?
It's about getting in, I guess, getting with the artists more. You know, it depends on, you know, my ear. And I would always tell them, I say, you know what, forget, I don't care about no selling no beats right now. It's about getting into you and what are you sounding like when you get on my beats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always into the art, and we can work something out. We could do splits, and like you said, do splits, or whatever it goes down, the business that business comes late, because I'm not greedy like that. I don't like to be greedy, and I don't like to have my opportunities pass me by because of that greed. And sometimes that can turn around and bite me in the ass, and I lost a good opportunity. You know, all because of that greed. And I understand the business always got to come because you got to pay your bills, and this is what's putting food on your table. You know, and this is what the reason why you're getting sample packs is because they're paying you for your beats. But I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always about having that connection with that artist and working with them, you know, and you know.
Right. So when you make these beats, a lot of times you make beats and you have a concept in mind, and you give these beats to an MC. You're like, yo, this right here is a female song, you know, but they get on a murderers, let's say some braggadocious or some other than the topic that you had in your head. That happens a lot. Does that happen a lot to you?
Yes.
Like, yo,
like it could be one thing I'm thinking, but it's a whole opposite way that they're thinking.
And then the song will still be dope what they did, but you're like, yo, that was a female song. That was for the females, or that was a storytelling track, or times you give them a beat and you're like, no, you're supposed to come in over here. This was the build up. You know, but it still sounds dope. But you know, because a lot of times in our head was like, we're artists too. And we know, okay, we make this part, but I want this MC to start once this drums drop, or once this drum drops out, he starts here.
Right.
But sometimes they'll rap the minute the beat come on. And it's like, nah, it still sounds dope, but that's not what I intended. If the song is dope, do you have a problem still telling them, wait a minute, that's not what I intended you to do. I wanted you to come in on this part.
I don't have a problem with that because it is what it is. Because like I said, we of course producers are artists and we have something in mind. But as soon as it goes into the artist's hands, the MC's hands, he's going to think of this when he hears this beat. So I mean, it is what it is. As long as it's a dope record and it's going out, you know, the DJs is spinning it, like, and we getting good comments on it. Then it is, you know, I'm just fall back and just looking, you know. I let the artists do their thing, you know, however they get it, you know.
So right now I'm waiting for the Murda Megz quote unquote Dr. Dre Chronic album. Is that coming soon? Like, you know, your beats and all these different MCs rhyming over your beats, like Dr. Dre puts out the Chronic. Is that coming soon? Is that out
that might be coming soon. That might be coming soon. I was supposed to do that some years ago, but it never came because everybody. It's just the timing on everybody. Getting their verses in and all that other stuff. So I said, you know what, let me just cut it loose and just make beats just to fill something up and have something ready for an MC. I would love to do something like that, but like I said, it's just the timing. And you know what? Speaking of that, we have a compilation on 6-Man. It's called Everything Means Nothing, and of course, it's Bad Seeds, Dr. Dre's Chronic, and we just released it on his birthday. So yeah, shout out to him. And we just did that. And there's a part 2. There is a second. This is just the first disc. We have a second disc that's coming, you know, in March, which is the next month. So as far as like my Dr. Dre Chronics, that's soon to be, you know.
Right. Now, do you have an MC wish list right now that you want to work with?
Yes.
Are you care to share that?
Even though you know, C provided me all that, and it came, you know, all because I just worked with him. Everybody just came through. But as far as like my wish list right now and who I'm providing the beats to, of course, see, of course, me and him, we were doing a joint project and Lifelong, of course, from Stronghold. If
I remember. Yeah, I remember Lifelong.
Stronghold. And speaking of Stronghold, Poison Pen.
Oh, Poison.
Swave Sever. We got something.
Wow, old school.
Woo. I mean, it's a whole lot of wish lists. Of course, Beretta, not Beretta, Bernadette Price. She's on my wish list too.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh my goodness, it's a whole lot of people that I wanted. But as far as like Rockness Monster, I want him to be on my joints. Just whoever I come across to. You know, if I was to go to New York. And speaking of New York, I'll be flying there on the 16th for the Cool Table Part 3 because we already went to Part 2. And speaking of me, JP, we just did a battle for that with the Part 2 joint, and then the Part 1. Yeah, just whoever I come across to, and if it's if we on the same page, then yes, they're on my wish list, and that's coming coming soon.
Right. Now, speaking of battling, is that something you do often? The beat battles, or?
I used to. I mean, it just depends. It all depends. Once upon a time, not long ago, but I went to St. Louis. Shout out to Aztec De Niro and DJ.Z.A.Z and the rest of the Chicago family out there.
Right.
I was flying into St. Louis, and they was driving from Chicago to St. Louis, and I joined the Fresh Produce STL, which is a beat battle, a producer battle out there. And there used to be this festival out there. It's called Sunfest, St. Louis Underground Music Fest. And sometimes they would do like a short trial, and or they would just do like the standard. So you have a choice. Every time a festival would come up, you can do the short trial version, which is the festival version, or every time something would come up, on their with their stage and the venue and stuff like that, you could do the full version of their battle. And I went and I did that from 2017, 2018 up until 2020 when the pandemic happened. So they started online, and then of course they would start, slowly but surely they bought everything back. They started to go back to the venues, and you can still do it online as well. So it's an option. You can stay at home, do it online, or you can just fly out, which I like to do. I like to fly out. I like to go places and stuff like that. Get some excitement and stuff. So that's where it all started.
Now, have you battled dudes? I know you smash a lot of dudes.
Yeah, dudes. Yeah, that's one of the very first battle where I went all the way, because the first battle I went to the second round and lost at the second round. And as far as like one of the best battles that I ever went further in, I battled this dude. He won anyway. He was from St. Louis and he won anyway. So of course they wanted to keep it home, and I'm the away team, you know what I'm saying? And I was coming with some boom bap shit. I was just coming with what I had. And of course they was doing some, old trap stuff.
That's understandable.
And I was beating dudes left and right up until that semi-final and that final. I won second place.
What was the look on their face when you was whipping their ass with this boom bap?
Everybody was coming to me. Everybody, shook my hand, congratulated me for the second, and everybody had everybody cheering for me.
He wasn't bruising these dudes' ego or nothing. Like just a female that whipped my ass. It was all good.
Yeah, I mean, I still keep it. I kept my game face, and I say, hey, it is what it is. And I thought, they gave me some cash prize, and I said, what, just keep the studio time because I couldn't make it over there anyway. If they was to give me the studio joint, so just give me the money, and we just split it on the bar. So we just did it like that. And I kept it. I joined again. I didn't give up right then and there.
So as a beat maker, what are some things that frustrate you about this whole beat making game? Does anything frustrate you that's like, is it giving beats to artists and they sit on it for years, months, and days? Is it the business part of it where they think you're a female, they can get over on you and not pay you? What are some things that just frustrate you?
Now here's the deal on that. Because I had made some trap beats on the side. I made some trap beats on the side, even though I am a boom bapper. I'm 100% a boom bapper.
Wow.
I had made like 2 trap beats on the side, right? And one of the, I guess one of my dudes that's just around the way, and he was going to Philly to get it. It was just rocky. I remember it was just rocky type beat, and I guess they had, you know, did some slick shit on the side, and I said, okay, so you know what? Never again. Never again. I won't do that again, because they think, because I'm, like you said, I'm a female, and they can get over it, and they can just alter and, you know, just go back and redo my work or whatever the case. I said, you know what? Just keep that. Keep that beat. Just shut up your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not even pressed about it. But then again, I am going to get my credit and what's due, because I'm not going to be sitting here doing no work. And then you're not going to give me, even though they probably would give me credit and then co-produce it. No, I produced every single thing on that beat. What the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? He just went back and he just redid the intro to the joint. You know, so I said, no, I'm never going to do that again. And I put a stop to that shit. And I just, you know, just stayed in my lane and stayed on my boom bap. You know, my corner, you know.
Have you found that some MCs will try to date you to get free beats? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not even going front like that. No, it's not. It wasn't nothing like that. You know,
like, well, her beats is high. Let me see if I can date her and get these free beats or from her. You know what I mean? And things like that. You know what I mean?
No.
Yo, man. So what's next on the menu? You know, what you got going on next?
What is next on the menu? Of course, February 16th, which is on a Friday. I'll be flying down to New York. In Brooklyn, of course, the Secret Pour down there. They got the Cool Table Part 3. And Sway 7, he'll be hosting the battle part of it, because I wanted to do a beat set, but I figured that the time is not going to be right, because you're going to have a beat. You're not a beat battle, a rap battle, an MC battle. Then of course the performances, and it's going to be for a short time because time flies. It'll be 8 o'clock. It'll be 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Next thing you know, it'll be 2 o'clock a.m. You know, and I'm not gonna have the time to do a beat show. But as far as like beat showcases, everything is gonna be coming soon. And project wise, me and the Bad Seed is going to do a collab joint. Of course, the second part of Everything Means Nothing is coming out on March. And of course, speaking of March, I might be flying back to New York to do a beat set. But yeah, everything is gonna be coming soon. As long as you follow my page and my social medias and everything, you'll see all kinds of
follow each other. Yeah, we definitely follow each other. But you know, what I would like to see, and it's not even just on some female, just to separate it. I would like to see more beat makers going on tour, doing beat sets. Like how the artist goes on tour, I would like to see more of y'all go on tour and do beat set. I would like also, you know, like just for example, you do an album with the Bad Seed. He gets a show. I would love to see the Bad Seed give you a beat set and cut you in on some of that money as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times as a beat maker, you get money from the splits from the project, but the MC can also go out and do shows. He can get feature money and things like that. But I would also like to see where, you know, especially if this certain MC is getting hot off your beats and off the project that you did for this person or whatever, whoever it is. I feel that MC, if he's getting hot off the album y'all did together, and he's getting shows, he should at least invite you on to get a beat set.
Oh yeah. That's all gonna be coming soon, because we're in a group chat and we're gonna be chatting it up pretty soon. And as long as everybody's on the same page, and you know, as far as like grabbing up, you know, as far as like the finances and the timing wise, because I know it's about the time. To make sure everybody's on the same page. And, you know, but, as long as we're chatting it up, we good. You know,
I would like to see that, because I think as beat makers, we're not given our proper respect. You know, a lot of MCs will take our beats. You know, and a lot of times to get out there, we got to give these beats out for free. A lot of us, you know what I mean? Here, take this, take that. These MCs, you know, take these beats, rhyme over it, sell albums, tour, and do everything. And we ironing our shirt on Sunday to get ready to go to work on Monday. You know, so I would like to see more respect given. And this is what this platform is about. You know what I mean? Give the drummer some, as they say, and put us, you know, next to the artist. So that's why we have Murda Megz now. People can put a face to the name from just seeing this platform. You know, so I'm all about giving respect to the beat makers. I just feel like a lot of times we don't get the respect we deserve.
Right.
You know, and we're always in the background. We're always sacrificing and giving away beats, and you know, because now it's a free for all. You know, you can be a bedroom producer and reach out to some of these underground guys that are doing their thing, give them beats for free. You know what I mean? They make the money off of it. You know, selling it, whatever, going on tour, but you're still, you know, and even on this platform, a lot of these beat makers are still working jobs, you know, and doing this, you know, in their home, you know, part-time trying to make it. But it's like you work with Griselda, you work with so-and-so, and you know what I mean? It's like.
Right. Even though these times nowadays, as far as like the music business with your indie or a major or a minor league, major league, now everything is based off streaming because some of the artists are not making money like they're supposed to, like they were then. Now it's just everything is by the 0.01 or the 0.02 cents. And if you make like $1 million or $1 billion stream, that's still not going to be nothing. That's like a couple thousand. Yeah, you will get a couple thousands, and hopefully not. You pray and that you're not signed to a label that's getting their cut, and then you're left with scraps or like pocket change. You know, so us producers and artists are not really getting anything basically. That's if you sell like merchandise and tickets that for like concerts and like merchandising and all the other stuff and endorsement deals. But as far as like the music business right now, it sucks. It's sad and it sucks. And we are spending our hard-earned dollars that we're working at these 9-to-5s and stuff like that, and then we're dishing it. You know, of course, Spotify's. And of course, they're getting paid by the stream. They get you best to believe that they're getting paid by the stream and the subscriptions every month that they're receiving every month. Not every month, but I'm pretty sure they're receiving those $9.99 and $10.99 almost every day. You know, depending on the due date. You know, the bill. But yeah, everything is not really about like physical copies, $20 a copy, and times 100 or 500,000 copies and such. And if you make over that or whatever the case may be, then of course you would get your, you know, your share or something like that. But yeah, everything goes by the micro penny. This hypothetical micro penny. You know.
But what I think the music going toward now is selling music online via your own website. You know, your real fans, your real supporters, whether you're selling digital downloads, whether you're selling physical copies, you're almost selling it like you're selling a bag of weed.
Right.
You know, I think that's where the game is coming to now. You know what I mean? www.murdamegz.com. And if those who really rock with you, they're going to go to your website. They're going to download the music or they're going to buy the physical copies and things like that. You know what I mean? And you're going to sell it like it's artwork. So it might be a little bit more expensive, you know what I mean? But those who really, truly rock with you, who find value in your work, they're going to purchase it. And I think that's where the game is going to really start going toward.
Right.
You know, no streaming, none of that. Yo, you rock with me, you go to my website, you get it exclusively, direct to consumer. And that's what I think the game is going to. You know, whether you're a beat maker, artist, or whatever, you come to me. You come to that website if you really, really rock with me. Because we don't need everybody. We just need a certain select few that really rock with us.
Right.
To make it happen, you know, on that level. But anyway, Murda Megz, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out your busy schedule to chop it up with me. We made history today, yo. You are the first female beat maker on Strictly for My Diggers, man. This makes me feel so good because I've been wanting a female on here for so long.
Right. And once again, thank you for having me here. I definitely appreciate it.
No,
this was the perfect right. This was the right time and the perfect timing too. Much as I'm busy, this was perfect.
Yeah, man, because you're crazy dope, man. When I was talking to my man, I was like, yo, I'm trying to get JP. He said, you heard of Murda Megz? I said, nah. I went on Instagram. I was like, oh shit. What? Man. You're really, really dope. And I can see you doing big things in the future, man. I really do.
Word.
I really do, man. So once again, I appreciate you for coming on. Let's stay in touch too. Let's stay in touch and things like that. You know, I got a female beat maker out here. Her name is Beloved Zawadi. You might have heard of her. She's out here in Charlotte. I'm from Long Island, but I'm based in Charlotte right now.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, let's keep in touch and things like that. And I want to start connecting you with some MCs out here that can use your production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And be in touch. So yeah, let's stay in touch.
All right. Yeah, most definitely. Yep. You know, on the back end, we could get everything right, get all the links and stuff, and we good from there.
All right, no doubt. All right, have a good night. Peace.
You too. Peace.
Yeah. Divine equality, now love, commonly known as me Mo. Here to do work. Let's go, yo. Bar fest, only dropping the rawness. 8 kids like fuck it, I love raw sex. Predator apex, use break beats to break necks. Chiropractors passing me half they check. Yes, God bless, I am God manifest in the flesh. Be still with deep breaths, you try to see the rest. Third eye perceive things that mind don't think exist. Master balance my shit while I'm high as angel tits. My heart cold and when sober, a soldier banger for this.